Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Helen Mzembu. So this is my gardening day. I love the winter sun. It is just amazing. And yes, we're at the end of winter. I'm super excited. Spring is on the way. And so I'll just show you a bit about my garden and the prep that I'm doing. And I should be done with about 89 seedlings today. I should have them potted and yes, put them in a secure space, and then in 2 weeks time when my seedlings that are inside are ready, then I'll transplant them out as well. So I'm looking forward to a beautiful summer garden. Lots of plants in my driveway, my front, my side, my back. Lots of tomatoes. I'm currently growing Moneymaker and Roma tomatoes, although I've got the yellow pear cherry tomatoes and the red cherry tomatoes. So I've got those for those varieties, and then I've got kale, cabbage, spinach, Swiss chard. What else? A lot of the squashes, so gem squash, butternut, pumpkin, Queensland pumpkin, Witboer pompoen. Yes, I've got all of those. So yes, we'll see how the garden goes. But so far, everything is germinated well, and the seedlings that I'm getting today, I'm going to transplant them, and then I'll show at the end of the video. I'll show the completion of the seedling transplants. This is my indoor seedling area. So here I've got bok choy, kale, cabbage, Chinese cabbage, tomatoes. These are Moneymaker tomatoes. These grow about 3 meters tall. Some more kale. Lots and lots of kale. This is Roma tomatoes. And this is an heirloom. It's a purple variety. Okay, here, some spring onions. I just trimmed the tops off this morning. So this is my indoor seedling area. I will only transplant these in about 2 to 3 weeks. Possibly, let's just say the end of September to be safe. I'll transplant these. Yeah. Here, you can see sunflower. I normally direct sow my sunflowers, but I had some spaces in the trays and then I decided to put them in. So that's one, and here's another. Yeah. So this is my summer prep. I'm very excited because this year I've been highly intentional in terms of what I'd like to grow and what produce I'd like for the family. And yes, all is looking good and looking well. These empty ones, I'm still waiting for butternut and gem squash to germinate. This is the second set of containers. These already have beans coming up. I've got beans, I've got sugar beans with the bush beans, I've got broad beans, I've got peas, I have corn, sweet corn, and I have maize. Here are the broad beans. These will grow about 1 meter tall. Bush beans, they look so lovely and green. Yeah, so this is now 3 weeks old, this section. Yeah, 3 weeks old, I think. Yeah. And so I'm happy with them. I'm not putting them out in the full sun yet. It's just a bit hot out there. I just need to make a plan for another piece of shade cloth, and then at least it won't be too hot for them because now they're still young. I do take the buckets in at night because I'm still stressed about any rats that may navigate through our yard, and I don't want them to eat the young ones. But my garden has never really had an issue with rats eating stuff, but I'm just being cautious since they're young. So this is my garden prep for summer. I had to replenish my soil. So I've added some compost and natural manure to my soil. And this is a 2 meter by 4 meter bed. And this is where I've been just mixing and preparing my compost. I had it covered. And now I'm going to fill my bags because I've got some seedlings on the way. And yeah, I've also got some seeds that I've prepared, and in a few days they'll be ready to transplant. So these are the bags that I'm using. These are grow bags that I bought from a gentleman in Rudaport. And so I use these. I've got 10 liter, 20 liter, 50 liters. And then I have one tote there that I'm using. And then here are the buckets that I use. And here are some of the ones that I've already prepped. These have seedlings, like really, really tiny. Okay, that's the beans. Here you can see some parsley coming up, spinach, beetroot, baby bok choy, some corn, and this is, I don't know if you can see, this is amaranth. It's a grain that I'm growing. So these have seeds, and they have the babies now. So this is an area that I started 2 weeks back. Here are my pumpkins and butternut. So today is garden prep, and I'll be busy here the whole day. And then once my seedlings come, I will pot them. So I have to fill all these bags and all these buckets. It's a big job. I feel sorry for my arms today. So finally, I have filled the containers with soil. It took me quite a while, but here we go. All filled and ready. These here against the wall will be for the moneymaker tomatoes, since they grow about 3 meters tall. Okay, and so next step is just to add the seedlings, and I will be done for the day. So my seedlings have just arrived, and let's see what is in. So that is beetroot and lemon balm. This is Cape gooseberry, the fruit. Parsley and thyme. Kale and Swiss chard. This is flat leaf parsley. And this is parsley. Hidden at the bottom is like a pepper. I've ordered about 4 peppers, and then some more parsley and chilies. So I like a lot of herbs. And I needed these starter seedlings to just give me a head start while I'm already seeding my own, so that my garden has a head start with the herbs. So I will be planting these shortly, and I'll show you the completed state. Okay, so it has been a long and very exhausting day. You would think that potting seedlings would not be so exhausting, but I am tired. It is draining, but nevertheless a task that I enjoy. So, sure, this is what I have done so far. I've had to bring them into the shade because, you know, seedlings are very young and tender, and they really don't need full sun within the first week. I would say the first week that you get them. It is better to have them in a well-lit, cool, but you know, warmish environment. So this is mine. The beans are mine. This is Cape gooseberry, the fruit. So it's my first time growing them. Herbs, Swiss chard, parsley, kale, beets, parsley, thyme, 1 pepper in the middle, the same here. Kale, 1 beet. I don't want to crowd my bags, so I'm trying to put, so like the beets will come out early because I like the baby beets, and then the herbs don't take up much space, although they get bushy. If they're too bushy, you just harvest and trim it down and make space for something else. This will be the centerpiece. This is red pepper, baby. This is my pumpkin. I've planted this, so I decided to pot it today as well. So this is a 25 liter bucket. So I've got the pumpkin on top. However, on the side, I've got kale coming out and kale coming out that side. So I just need to give them enough support so that they grow that way, vertically. Another fruit, gooseberry and parsley. The same there. Pepper and parsley. Pepper in the center, parsley, beets. Pepper in the center, parsley. Yeah, and then that's kale. 2 parsley 1 time. So I like mixing my veg with my herbs because some things come out earlier and then I know that they will make space for the other items to grow a lot larger. So essentially this is my veg and herb setup. They will stay here in the courtyard until, or let's say they'll stay here for the next week, and then I will put up the shade nets and start positioning them in their permanent positions. But I'm also a bit hesitant because the last frost date has not come yet, so I need to wait for that frost date to pass, and it's usually somewhere mid-September. So yeah, anyway, I bring these in at night. Anyway, imagine this is about 40 containers, and I will be carrying these in at night, every night. Like, yeah, if you garden with containers, that is gem. Like, this is gem, I tell you. So I will post another update, let's say the middle of September, and give you guys a view of all these babies and how far they've grown and where I've decided to position them. This is borage, one of my favorites, and the bees love it. So the leaves I use in salad. It has a similar the leaves have a similar texture to that of pumpkin. So I use the leaves in a salad, and the flowers I soak with honey to make cough mixture. And the bees just love it. So when I have bees in the garden, then everyone else is happy. All the other plants are happy. So this is me done with my goal to pot my herbs today and my veg. I'm very happy. Oh, I forgot to say that I bought the seedlings from a place in Johannesburg called Plant Forum. And they are really affordable. Their seedlings are 1 rand, 1 rand 50, 2 rand each. And so because I'm taking the herbs mostly, it works out well for me because I struggle to grow herbs from seed. I do have some as seeds, germinate, about to germinate, but I struggle. And so I needed a head start while I keep trying to grow mine from seed. At least I know that I do have all the herbs that I need, and I have, okay, well, the veg, I do grow that. I just wanted extra, but the herbs I needed to just get a head start. And so that's mainly my sage, lemon thyme, garden thyme, the parsley in the center, the celery. Those are the main ones that I needed the head start with. And the problem is that once you're on these sites, you just really need everything else. And so I just decided to treat myself to these extra veg and just threw in some beets. Although I do have my own peppers and chilies, I do have my own coming up. But it was just lovely to buy those extra ones. The extra ones cost 1 rand 50 as well to 2 rand. I think the most expensive thing that I bought was the gooseberry. This one here, the Cape gooseberry, the fruit. And this one was, I think it was 4 rand each. Yeah. So that was the most expensive plants that I bought. And these are perennial. And I can make more plants by propagating. So I'm happy with what I've selected. I'm happy with the head start. and now I just need to bring them in every night. So this is my quote that I wrote on the wall. Creation is one of God's love letters to mankind, and it truly is. When we look at what God has created, we cannot not be in awe of His majesty. And for me, my garden reminds me every day that God loves me. He gives me a garden, and I tend to it with all my heart and with all my soul. So this is me checking out, and we'll see you in the next gardening video updates.